So the Samsung Galaxy Note 20. Now that's going to be the next big thing from Samsung that's expected to come out this year and 2020. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is looking at all the leaks we know so far and based on experience, figure out what we can expect to see from the Samsung Galaxy Note 20. The flagships for Samsung in 2020 was the S20 series. We were present there for that for the Unpacked event, and also we did a full review on the S20 Ultra that you guys can check out here. Now what we found out from this and previous experiences is that Samsung is really out there when it comes to new features being added like the 108 megapixel and 8K video recording, and they're not afraid to push the boundaries a lot with their flagships. Based on previous generations, the Note series always kind of overshadowed the S series, and they're always a little bit more powerful. They have the S Pen and they're always coming out with these crazy new technologies for the Note series. But this generation, we're kind of expecting to see something very similar with a lot of the features, probably all the features from the S20 series transcending over to the Note 20 series. Now we're not just covering leaks here, we also want to go over some rumors and some wishlist items that people want to see from the Note 20 series that I would personally like to see from the Note 20 as well. So let's get started with some of these leaks. The leaks obviously suggest that the Samsung is going to be using the same processor as the S20 in the Note 20, which is the Snapdragon 865 processor. Now the X55 on the Snapdragon also allows 5G connectivity, which is kind of expected to be the same on the Note 20. However, there is a slight possibility that we might get an 865 Plus. That's a slightly upgraded version of the 865, but that's again very much a rumor and we're not sure about that. But the main focus for this is going to be that it's going to have an 865 processor. According to Forbes, the S Pen on the Galaxy Note 20 is going to be receiving a heavy upgrade that also looks like a big year for the Note fans who are always in it for the S Pen. Speaking of fans being happy, it's also noted that the Note 20 is going to contain the same 5x periscope zoom found on the Galaxy S20 Ultra, but Samsung will limit it to 50 times to ensure better picture quality rather than going all out with that 100x zoom where you kind of lost out on a lot of details. Samsung is also expected to boost the camera quality on the Note series as opposed to the S20 series and make it slightly better when it comes to the autofocusing, where the S20 faced a few issues. Now coming to the launch itself, they're expecting to have it go as planned without any delays, but we'll see how it goes. But as far as the physical event is concerned, pretty sure that's not going to be happening, and we're going to have an online event for the launch. So let's see how that goes as well. Now with all the leaks and stuff out of the way, here's what I really want to see with the Note 20 series. The first thing I would like to see is an improvement with the functionality of the stylus. Arguably the best feature on the Note series of the Galaxy is always the stylus. Greatest part of it, neatly tucked in. You can pull it out whenever you want, so seamless, looks so good. It has a lot of accessibility features to it, a lot of functionality to it that not a lot of other phones can offer. In the previous generation, we saw a lot of upgrades with the feature. There were a lot of new gestures added in for taking pictures, zooming in pictures, all that kind of stuff that to me honestly looked a little bit gimmicky. Now that's not a really bad thing because that kind of sets the tone for where we're headed towards in terms of technology achievements. So with this new generation, I'm hoping Samsung implements a lot more use case functionality for the Note 20 stylus. The second thing we would like to see a change in would be the camera system. Now this doesn't necessarily mean the hardware side of things, more like the software side of things. Now using the S20 Ultra, I was really happy. It was my favorite Samsung camera so far, with all the lenses performing really well. All the sensors were performing really well as well with the 108 megapixel. Now we expect to see the same 108 megapixel on the Note 20 series as well, but what I hope to see an improvement in is the software processing of these images. Now the portrait mode is really great on the S20, way better than the previous generations, but I feel like it's still over vibrant and over sharpened in some cases. The HDR is amazing, but the implementation could be slightly better in terms of software rendering. In addition to that, the video mode in the S20 Ultra did not allow 60 FPS recording in the ultra wide angle lens. I'm not very sure why that was. The 4K only went up to 30 FPS in ultra wide. So with the software update, I hope we can go 4K 60 FPS with the ultra wide, which will give us more of a GoPro kind of feel, so you can get more action shots with it in the ultra wide angle field of view. That would be great. Now the third thing we're going to be talking about is going to be the display. Samsung has definitely, in my opinion, the best displays on the market, and they produce a lot of displays for other smartphone manufacturers as well. The reason for this is because Samsung has pretty much got it down to a science and they can't get it wrong anymore. Their displays are absolutely perfect, and with the S20 we've seen the 120Hz refresh rate, panels which are really great, and honestly playing games on that, even using it, is super smooth, and you can't really complain about the display with Samsung phones, especially with the newer series. But on the Note 20, maybe we can see an upgrade in the panel from 120Hz to 144Hz, along with a new processor. It's definitely going to be great for gaming and reaching those really high frame rates when games do release updates for those that support these kind of high frame rates. It'd be really awesome to see a 144Hz panel maybe. And also in terms of the punch hole cutout, we're kind of used to it at this point, but maybe they could implement a feature where the camera is underneath the screen so you get that full screen display. Now, I'm not sure if everyone knows about the under screen camera, but there was a rumor going around that smartphones would be able to put the camera underneath the screen so you don't actually have a punch hole or even a notch anymore. So everything would be under the screen, but I haven't seen anyone implement this yet, and I'm not sure how they would. It's not terrible to have a punch hole, but if they could implement it in a new way where the screen real estate is screen real estate, that would be really sick as well. So the last thing we're looking at is hoping that they have a cheaper version that also supports 5G. Now, the 5G variant of a lot of phones are way more expensive than their 4G counterpart. And also we've seen that with previous generation phones coming out where the 5G is just significantly more expensive. 4G might be a little bit outdated in the next generation, so everyone's probably going to be going for 5G. Now, we're probably expecting them to release multiple versions of the Note 20, like a Note 20e or an S or whatever they call it, which is the lighter version, which is a lot cheaper. So we hope that that implementation will work for the 5G side of things as well, so people with a smaller budget can still purchase the Note at a cheaper price. With all of that being said, you guys have to realize that these are just leaks, rumors, and expectations from the new generation. I feel like we've reached a point where smartphones have become so good that the increment in the quality and the improvements and the upgrades they can make kind of dies down at some point. If you're paying a lot of money for a smartphone, the features expectations kind of have a benchmark already, and there's not that much improvement you can go for. So a lot of these are just what we would like to see, but it honestly has reached a point of diminishing return, in my opinion, where not a lot of things can be offered to you at the price point that you're paying, because we've kind of maxed out with everything we can do. So a few things like the 144Hz and stuff could be really great, but again, we wouldn't be dissatisfied if it's not there. It's just more of a cherry on the top kind of thing. So really hope you guys enjoyed this leaks and expectations video, and do let us know in the comments what you think and what you expect to see from the Note 20 series. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and do consider subscribing for more content just like this, and we'll see you again in the next video.